What up? I'm Shep Opelka, and this is the Braves TomaBlog. In an absolute instant classic, in the first playoff game in SunTrust Park history, the Braves won 6-5 in what is, in my mind, the most exciting Braves playoff game I can remember since probably the 18-inning game against Houston in like 2004 or 2005. I am hyped. Oh my goodness, that was such an amazing game. I didn't expect anything like that. Going into the series, the Dodgers said we have two guys that we have to stop, Ronald Acuna and Freddie Freeman, and that's exactly who delivered the daggers last night. It was an incredibly exciting game at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. It was insanity, and now we live to fight another day. We're going to go out at 4:30 today and face the Dodgers, and I will be there. I'm at home right now, but I'm headed to the game for the 4:30 game. I have no idea what to expect. I'm very emotional. I could spend 3 hours talking about the game last night. I'm going to do my best to keep this to around 20-25 minutes. First thing I want to start with is Ronald Acuna. I have not talked nearly enough about Ronald Acuna Jr. either on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel. I'll tell you why. Ronald Acuna is a difficult person for me to talk about. The reason is because the brand of this channel, the brand of this page is rationality and accurately placing people on a graph and saying this is how good they can be, this is how good they can't be, this is what to accurately expect from them. Accuracy is sort of my brand, and it's how I approach everything. 99.99% of the time, that's a good thing. There's not enough of that in the world. Ronald Acuna is a difficult person for me to talk about because I can't accurately place him on a graph. I can't say he can be this good. Ronald Acuna Jr. is the first person to come to the Braves organization in my time, having a channel or a page that I can't say what they're going to do. He's too talented, he's too good, and he is a stone cold killer. And he proved it last night. Oh my goodness. Ronald Acuna, for one, to me, like what sells me on, I can't place him anywhere. I can't say what to expect from him. I can't say he's this level of talent. He's every level of talent. He is in the top 4 or 5 most talented baseball players on the planet right now, and he's got ice in his veins. It's absurd. He leaned back on his heels, and that's what, how I know what a killer he is that you can't piss him off. If you upset Ronald Acuna, the Miami Marlins throw at Ronald Acuna, he breaks a hole in their stadium. Walker Buehler walks a run in against Ronald Acuna. The umpire calls a bad call, and Ronald Acuna goes, "Oh, all right, we'll see. Make me face a 3-1 pitch against Walker Buehler right now. We'll see how this goes." And he demolishes a pitch 5 rows back. So for one, I didn't get to watch it. I was not watching at that moment. I work at a church, and they had an evening service that I had to be at for my job. And so I fist pumped in the middle of church, and I repressed the desire to yell out loud in the middle of church. Oh my goodness, because I was watching the game cast on Bleacher Report, and I saw that we're up 1-0, which was shocking already. And I see that Acuna's up, and I look away, and then I check my phone again, and it's 5-0, and I just start fist pumping. I was so hyped, and then I got out of there as fast as I could, and I ran back to watch the Braves give 10 straight outs to Walker Buehler. I was like, well, I guess I'm the problem because, when I'm not watching, we score 5 runs, and then Walker Buehler just settled in and cruised. Meanwhile, I watched the Braves have the worst. The fact that they gave up only 5 runs last night is mind-boggling. They gave up 5 runs to the Dodgers. Sean Newcomb threw 53 pitches, 23 of them were balls, and I really don't want to hear anything about Brian Snitker today, because Brian Snitker, it's a credit to him that we were able to win that game. The fact that none of his pitchers came out and handled themselves. I think Sabaka had like the best inning of anyone. He brings in Gausman. Gausman's not any better than Newcomb was. He couldn't control his command any better, so you can't say, oh, should have gone with Gausman or anything. Maybe it's different if he starts, but it really is a moot point because neither of them could handle themselves. Then Max Fried comes in, and he's worse than the 3 of them, and he gives up 3 runs in the fourth or fifth inning, I think. We watched the lead, this 5-run lead that I was like, oh, and now we just got to cruise, can't do, and we watched the lead evaporate, and I was genuinely, I didn't think that we were going to win. I watched and I was like, we had this great moment, we had this signature moment to open up SunTrust Park, and we're going to let a 5-run lead slip away from this. And this is how our season's going to end, is with our pitchers just not being able to throw strikes at all. Fitting, I suppose. We used everything. And I think John Smoltz said it last night. Brian Snitker, manage how you're supposed to manage. You have a wet sponge. You wring out every single bit of it. Kurt Suzuki used every single mound visit. I definitely noticed when he kept going to see Newcomb, and he kept going to see Gausman, and I was like, I think we've used 4 mound visits already. We used all of our mound visits up early, and we had to operate with no mound visits, and it almost cost us the game with Vizcaino having a hard time throwing strikes in the 9th inning. I'm going to get around to that because I'm going through this linearly now. We blow the 5-run lead, and the unsung hero of that game, not that he pitched amazing, but Touki Toussaint was facing Manny Machado with the bases loaded. I did not think we would get out of it. I thought that Machado would bust the game open and we would let our season slip away. I did not think that we were going to handle that. Then Machado flails at a pitch. It's a ground ball. Camargo gets him out, and I was like, whew, we got out of it. But I was not thinking that we were going to go anywhere with it. First pitch, Freddie Freeman comes up, takes a slider from Alex Wood, 10 rows deep. I mean, I was talking to my friend. I wasn't paying that close attention to the TV, and I see the ball flying, and I was like, that one's gone. I was like, we just took the lead back. We watched everything evaporate. We were watching our season slip away after 5 unanswered runs, and then just in the blink of an eye, Freddie Freeman takes Alex Wood deep. And I was like, it's the bottom of the 6th. We're through. We got through Newcomb, Gausman, Fried, Touki. We're done with our starters now. And I was like, we have 3 more innings to go. We can put in Sabaka, Minter, and Vizcaino. This is possible. We could hold them at 6-5. And it didn't happen easily. It didn't happen quickly. It didn't happen simply. That's what happened. Sabaka came in and gave you the best inning of the night. Minter came in, and I don't remember what Minter did. Minter got through it, though. He might have gotten through it easily. And then Peterson comes up. For one, like, throughout the night, I was texting my friend who's a Dodgers fan, big fan of Max Muncy. Max Muncy hit that 2-run home run, and I was like, I hate Max Muncy so much. I hate, and she was like, yeah, what do you think of Jock Peterson? I was like, thank you for asking. I hate Jock Peterson too. He's shaped like a tube. I just started roasting all the Dodgers players. I was like, Cody Bellinger looks like a fratty John Ossoff that let himself go. Justin Turner, I call an electricon, which is my clever description of an electrocuted leprechaun. I hate the Dodgers so much. And to get that win, oh my goodness, it was so euphoric. That was the most exciting game I can remember the Braves in the postseason, really in my conscious lifetime. I know that the 18-inning game was probably more exciting, but I don't really remember that too much. I remember I went to sleep because I didn't think the Braves had any chance in that San Francisco game that Rick Ankiel had the home run. That one was absolute insanity. That was all of Braves country gathered for it, and they just got a fireworks show with the grand slam and then the Freddie Freeman home run. Your 2 franchise players, Freddie Freeman and Ronald Acuna, absolutely came through. We scored 5 runs on 4 hits because Walker Buehler struggled, which, I didn't expect. You got to take everything that you can get. And the Dodgers did stuff to lose that game, and we took advantage of it. The Vizcaino struggled in the 9th. How did he get out of it? Manny Machado and Brian Dozier chased pitches in the dirt. That's what happened. Vizcaino didn't control himself that well, but we got out of it. We handled it. We won it. We won it 6-5, and now we get to live to fight an extra day. Oh my goodness, it was such an incredible game. And I will never forget that win in itself. It was such a 2018 win for the Braves. It was incredibly exciting. It was the most nail-biting game I can recall getting to be a part of. Man. All right, I got to calm down. So the game is at 4:30 today. I'm going to go there. and we decided to go with Mike Foltynewicz. I was surprised to hear that because the guy who we've saved is Julio Teheran. But the season's on the line. It's interesting that we're okay with sending Newcomb out to save our season, but not to send Teheran out to save our season. And I don't see, I think with both cases, you send Teheran out, you send Foltynewicz out, get through the first inning. If you can get through the first inning unscathed, you're all right. Now, here's the thing about Folty versus Teheran. You'll probably see both. There's a good chance that you see both today, especially if Folty struggles. Teheran will probably be the first out of the pen. And if he can get through that first inning that he's out of the pen, he might be able to cruise for a little bit. You're going to face Rich Hill. Now, that sounds like a relief in comparison to what we've had to face with Ryu and Kershaw. And then Buehler last night, who gave us some gifts, but then he settled in and handled himself. Rich Hill's really good against the Braves. I'm checking this now. He's 38 years old, but you saw him really handle the Braves when they came to visit this past year. He got a 3.66 ERA this year, 11-5 with a 1.12 WHIP. So look, I mean, he's a 38-year-old lefty. He's going to be throwing you some crafty 89 mile an hour fastballs. I'm sorry, I don't even know his off speed stuff. I don't even know what else he's throwing. I'm gonna still gotta take a second, pull myself back from that insane game that I think I'm gonna continue to be reliving. Chances, same as always. You're at home. Neither team is good at home, but they won at home. You won your first game at home. You could feel it last night just going in the bottom of the inning and the Dodgers using their chances before you. It was an advantage, and so you get to use that tonight. Foltynewicz, I did not think that we were going to get to see him have a second chance. I didn't think that we were going to see him have a chance at redemption in this postseason because he was awful. He was atrocious, and he was the worst pitcher that we've gone out and used this postseason, which seems like an anomaly because the pitchers have been very underwhelming. That said, so have the hitters for the most part. What's disappointing is that Camargo hasn't been there for you and Culberson hasn't been there for you. I remember I talked about at the start of the series, you needed three guys to show up and do something: Camargo, Acuna, and Culberson. Thus far, it's just been Acuna. It would be great if Ender could show up, if Ozzie could show up. We don't have Dansby, but if he was here, I would talk about him too. I would love it if Kurt Suzuki could give you some support because he's been such a clutch hitter all year. I would love it if Kurt Suzuki could get in on the action. But in reality, I mean, look, watch out for Freddie Freeman. Watch out for Ronald Acuna. They're the killers. They're the guys who can handle the moment. We know that. So for them to step up and have, a great day, I think one thing that you can expect from the Dodgers, since they have Kershaw in their back pocket and they have a trip home in their back pocket, they're going to let Rich Hill pitch the same way that they've let all of their starters pitch. So unless you really chase Rich Hill, you're going to see them leave him in. They're going to want to save their bullpen. They're going to want to save everything that they can for the NLCS because they think that it's a foregone conclusion, and it might be. Who am I to say that we can win the next two games? Although it's baseball. And that's the thing about it that, every time I want to just be like, well, we're done, we're cooked. That last night, that was a baseball game. And this is the Atlanta Braves. And the Atlanta Braves had lost 4 games in a row last night. And if you remember, our September tendency, lose 4, win 4. Or lose 4, win 5 or 6. So we lost 4 in a row, including the last 2 to the Phillies and the first 2 to the Dodgers. They get a close win last night. And if you don't think that win can invigorate them, if that can hype them up and ensure them that they're able to beat this team and they're able to hang with this team and go out and win some games, you haven't watched the Braves all year. They're a team that can win streaks of games. This team can absolutely go on a 3-game winning streak, and if they believe in themselves, they can go out and they can face either Hinshin Ryu or Clayton Kershaw, and they can find a way to get a win. It won't be easy, and it will take the Dodgers screwing up. It took the Dodgers screwing up last night. Buehler was awful at the beginning of the game. Alex Wood, just left a slider that Freddie Freeman was sitting on, and then they flailed at pitches. They left a bunch of runners on base, and we were able to get away with the win. Even though our pitchers were wild all night long, we still have a chance. we can still go out there and we can still put a string of wins together. And if we can win 2 more, we can win the series. And, none of us can even comprehend that right now. But if the Braves win today and we go back to LA, don't tell me the Dodgers won't be on their heels. Don't tell me the Dodgers won't be second-guessing themselves and the Braves won't be in attack mode. You never know what happens. And the thing about that is that even if you win tonight, Game 5 is not a guarantee either. You never know in baseball. Anything can happen at any moment. Home runs can happen at any moment. The Dodgers have hit their home runs off of you. You wanted to control their home runs and you haven't. What I think has become clear about the Dodgers is that home runs or not, to hit home runs or to not hit home runs, such is what could gather myself, guys. I'm really struggling here. Home runs or no home runs, such is what will determine if there are runs on the board for the Dodgers. They have not hit with runners in scoring position. They have not constructed runs. They've either hit home runs or they haven't. Keep the ball in the ballpark and you can win the game. Keep the ball in the ballpark and you will get them to strike out. They will either strike out, walk, or hit home runs. They're trying to just be patient, wait on their pitch, and hit the ball out of the ballpark. Throw strikes. Just throw them strikes. Make them put the ball in play. Make them swing and miss. This offense is not unbeatable. It's very beatable. They want to hit home runs all the time, and that is the downfall of many teams. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You can be the team that it doesn't work against. If you just throw strikes, keep your head on your shoulders, you're going to have to deal. And so that's on Mike Foltynewicz tonight. And then, I guess, Anibal Sanchez in Game 5 if they win. Who knows? Maybe Julio Teheran. I don't know. I don't know what's happening next. All I know is that Brian Snitker is doing what he should do in his first postseason series. He's using every card that he has. Me and my roommate a year ago, we watched all 5 seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the thing about that game, use everything you got. Use every card that you have. Get all the cards that you can. You guys didn't expect a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference on this podcast, did you? But that's what Brian Snitker's doing. It's what he should do. Back us up against the wall. Don't leave someone in the bullpen. Don't leave a guy on the bench. Use everything that you have. Go out and it's baseball. It's possible. So 4:30 today against the Dodgers, Rich Hill versus Mike Foltynewicz to determine if we stay alive. Again, hopefully it will be just as much of a classic or maybe a blowout, but I doubt it against Rich Hill. The Braves are in the postseason. The Braves are winning postseason games, and it's real. All right. I got 17 minutes out of that, and it was hyped, and it was lost. Let me know your experience for the game. Tell me what you were so hyped about for that game. What blew your mind? Tell me your reaction when we got the strikeout or when we got the grand slammer with Freddie Freeman's home run. Let me know your experience for the NLDS Game 3 Instant Classic First SunTrust Park playoff game. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Chet Papelka. This is Braves TomaBlog. Go Braves.